All right, so let's add some vocals to this track. The first thing we want to do is set up a vocal bus. Now I have one right here set up. It's nothing crazy. It's just a group track set up with a couple of audio tracks and a MIDI track. And I have an instance of Nectar 3 on the bus track here. And inside Nectar 3, it is the bright modern preset. It adds a little bit of compression, a little bit of de-essing, and a little bit of reverb. And I've adjusted them accordingly just to kind of process them the way I want. And it's just a quick preset just to give me an idea of how the vocal will sound when it's processed, sounding alongside the melody and the drums and everything else, because this is all processed already that we've been working on. So when I want to add a quick vocal on there and it's a dry recording, it just immediately gives a quick reverb and effect on it, so I can just hear how it sounds processed. So just set that up real quick, and then we can move on to the next part, which is choosing the vocal. Now, in a perfect world, I would have a vocalist here to record custom vocals for this track. I don't, so we're gonna have to use sample pack vocals. Now, you run the risk of having these vocals heard in another track, and if you're gonna be signing your track to a label will not, risk having that happen. So they prefer custom vocals. So I wouldn't try to submit a track to a label with the sample pack vocal, especially if it's a really good one, it's a catchy one. Because if the label doesn't know about it and they sign it and then they hear, hey, the vocals are somewhere else and whatever, you're gonna run the risk of like, why don't you tell us? And they're gonna get upset with you because it's not really an exclusive track just to that label anymore, since the vocals are now featured on another track as well from some random kid on SoundCloud or whatever. So you got to be careful with that. But that being said, for the sake of education, this can give you an idea of how they sound when they're processed. So let's just assume that we're choosing from a vocalist here in the studio with us, and this is what she's given us to record with, or this is what she's given us after she's recorded. Let's go ahead and add a instance of a plugin I like to use, Melody Sauce here. We're not going to be really using it per se, but I just like to use this little grid right here, this chart, just to show me how much I have to transpose or whatever to make the vocal fit melodically speaking. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through some vocals here.
I ain't tripping on yesterday, forgetting all of my mistakes.
Now we want to pay attention to the original tempo that these are recorded. Luckily, this sample pack is labeled for us, and the closer we get to 128, the easier it is to be manipulated with. If we go way down from like 105,
me in the middle of the night,
something like that, and you speed it up too quickly, the cadence sometimes can sound rushed, and you don't really want to do that. So I would try to avoid that sometimes when you're trying to do drastic changes in tempo, when you're grabbing like original vocals from another track. If you're remixing it too, sometimes that you can run into that problem, especially if you're trying to do a drastic difference in genre from the original. So let's just go ahead and audition some vocals and see what we can find that we like that will work with this.
in my blood. Yeah, I don't believe you. You're a paradise. You just give me and I get you. Raise your cup, but blue. It's what you do. Give my life color. Talking to myself and just sip on potion. Put your emotion. Keep me, wake me up. I swear, keep me closer. Don't need closure, 'cause I don't want it to end. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like that a lot, actually. That could really work for the breakdown.